Guys, is South Korea's democracy imploding right now? And where is their president? What is going on, man? Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Yo, we talked the other day about President Yoon declaring martial law and then the parliament sneaking into the Capitol and having martial law rescinded on a unanimous vote as the military was out there breaking the window trying to make their way in. Oh, man, wild. Well, the military's been pulled back. Some things have escalated. President Yoon has been impeached. And they're even talking about insurrection charges, guys. Dude, let me know what you guys think here, man. Is everything going on in South Korea the result of some serious nuances that we are missing out here in the West? Because, dude, it's wild. It really seems like there's stuff going on that we totally are blind to out here that we're just seeing bubble up without any real context. And I've been trying to figure it out, and I haven't been able to find anything. So, guys, if you could let me know in the comments, please let me know. I would really appreciate that. I'm super interested, guys. I've got a video here for us to get into, but real quick, guys, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you. Let's watch this video. Let's get an introduction into everything that's going on right now.
South Korea's parliament voting to impeach President Yoon Suk Yeol this morning. The news was met with cheers by opponents of Yoon's People Power Party. The move to oust Yoon comes less than 2 weeks after he briefly declared martial law. That decision was unanimously overturned by parliament. Chris Livesay is following the developments in our London newsroom. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's the culmination of weeks of turmoil in South Korea, this critical American ally on China's doorstep. This morning, tensions are boiling. The moment the impeachment bill was passed, a mix of loud gasps and cheers when the speaker announced enough votes were cast against the president, some from his own party. Outside at opposing rallies, some were dismayed, while others rejoiced over his impeachment. A crisis was sparked back on December 3rd when the president declared martial law. He said to withstand disorder and what he alleged were pro-North Korean elements inside the opposition. But the backlash was so intense, the decision was reversed just hours later. This morning, President Yoon is not backing down, vowing, "I will never give up." He's still in office for now, but the country's constitutional court must now deliberate on whether to uphold the impeachment. And if it stands, a new election will follow. Dana.
It's been interesting to watch from afar, Chris. Thank you.
Whoa, yo, what is going on? So he's fighting back, dude, yo, man, he's fighting back. That's wild, dude. This is crazy. Yo, let's break this down real quick, guys. South Korean lawmakers impeach President Yoon over failed martial law ban. Yoon remains defiant. Questions loom for political political culture and relations with Trump. It was game over for South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol Saturday after his powers were suspended by bipartisan impeachment vote in the National Assembly in central Seoul. In some 204 lawmakers in this 300-seat legislature, including 12 from Mr. Yoon's own party, secured 2/3 majority required for the conservative president's impeachment. Saturday's process was the culmination of 2 days of chaos and division following Mr. Yoon's stunning short-lived declaration of martial law on December 3rd. The earnest courage and dedication for the people showed for democracy led to this decision, National Assembly Speaker Yoon Won-sik said after the vote. The president, whose 5-year term runs through 2027, remained defiant over what he called a temporary pause in his presidency, but a huge roar of approval went from protesters outside the building when the result was announced. But apparently, according to CBS, there was a ton of people that were upset too. Who was upset and why? Like, why were they upset? What was their reasoning system? Like that's wild to me, man. Like we hear martial law, right? And over here we're like, whoa, bad thing. Everyone from just your average classical liberal to your total black-pilled conspiracy theorist, here's martial law, and we universally think, don't like it, right? But why would somebody be out there and be in support of it? Why? I'm just trying to understand why. Like what's going on? What is the cultural political environment out there? It's frustrating to think all the past efforts have been in vain, Mr. Yoon said in a post-vote message referring to his presidency, which commenced in 2022. And then he added, "I will never give up." What? Saturday's result could bring a measure of calm to the troubled capital. It took place amid nationwide protests over Mr. Yoon's shock decision, even in traditionally conservative strongholds in South Korea and South Korea's southeast. An estimated 200,000 people gathered as the vote was being cast. So vast were the crowds outside the assembly building that nearby subway stations were closed. That did not deter many Seoul residents from gathering in freezing temperatures. The road outside Mr. Yoon's compound was lined with the usual decor, countless funeral wreaths. Some were placed by supporters lamenting his fate, others by opponents in a psychological pressure tactic. Action on whether to remove Yoon from office now moves to the Constitutional Court, which has ample precedent. Two of Mr. Yoon's predecessors were impeached. A failed attempt in 2004 and the 2016 impeachment that ousted President Park Geun-hye. Yo, man, this is wild. What is going on out there? Yo, what is going on in Korean culture? The 9-judge panel currently has 3 vacancies, and constitutional experts told foreign reporters that they expect to take the case only with a full complement of judges who are appointed by the assembly. The court has up to 180 days to decide whether the impeachment stands. During that period, a caretaker administration led by Mr. Yoon's Prime Minister Han Duck-soo will be in place. If the impeachment is upheld, a presidential election must be held within 60 days. I'll devote all my strength and efforts to ensure a stable governance, Mr. Han told reporters Saturday's vote. Wow, man, that's crazy. A desperate move, but the crisis raised new questions about the state of democratic governance in a U.S. ally that has strategic, industrial, and technological, and even pop cultural import for the wider world. I mean, that's true. K-pop, right? Mr. Yoon declared martial law late in a late night address on December 3rd, admitting he was desperate. The opposition-controlled assembly had stymied his budget proposals and impeached a number of his nominees. Special forces moved to seize the National Assembly and the National Electoral Commission, and even a prominent opposition pollster and media figure. South Korea achieved democracy after decades of struggle in 1987, and personal institutional memory of authoritarian rule and struggle remained strong. Yo, that's wild. They were trying to seize control of a media apparatus. This guy does not sound good. But then again, I don't know, man. This is supposedly a conservative outlet out here with the Washington Times. So, dude, this is wild, man. This is crazy hearing about this guy right now. Demonstrations erupted and botched deployment of half-hearted commandos failed to prevent lawmakers from a range of parties from gathering and voting down martial law by a unanimous vote of 190 to 0. See, this is crazy, man. This does not seem right what this guy was doing, man. This is wild. I have no idea about the context of Korean politics, guys. We got to figure this out, man. Like what is going on? I can understand maybe this guy felt like he was about to lose his country to foreign influences. Maybe, some sort of continuity of government procedure, but this is crazy, man. Subsequent sinister aspects of the plan, such as a detention camp for Mr. Yoon's opponent, have come to light. Wow. While the allegations that a strike had been considered on North Korea to justify martial law, and that secret operations unit deployed in plain clothes outside the assembly remain unproven. Wow, man. So there could be a lot of propaganda going on out here, man. There could be a lot of stuff going on out here, a lot of propaganda. Dude, who knows what's like. This is wild, dude. Opposition parties drew an impeachment motion, but the vote 1 week ago fell short when lawmakers from Mr. Yoon's People Power Party boycotted the session when the vote was called. The PPP hedged back and forth, but willingness of some of its members to support the second impeachment effort suggested that they had succumbed to the overwhelming opinion. Those targeted by Mr. Yoon's original order praised the vote. It's a bit late, but I am relieved, said Chung Kong-kun, presidential secretary to the prior left-leaning President Moon Yang, in praising the popular rejection of the martial law plan. We have a sound and healthy democratic resilience, he said. Basically, we had a wrongful-minded president who was delusional, who committed a self-coup, and we nullified it within 2 weeks of civic resistance. Wow. Okay. We had a wrongful-minded president who was delusional, committed to a self-coup, and we nullified it within 2 weeks of civil resistance. So this guy, all right, man. So this guy was really not popular. I heard that he only had about a 17 to 19% popularity rating out here in Korea anyway. So, man, I guess it seems like we can say this is a good thing what's happening. It's just like, why would people be upset? Like, I just want to know. Can someone go out there and do an interview with some of these people that are upset about Yoon being impeached, please? Like what is the reasoning? The crisis also shines a light on a deeply polarized political culture. On the one impeached president referred to in his post-vote message, I ask that we improve our political culture and system so that politics can shift from reckless confrontation to thoughtful deliberation and consideration, Yoon said. The record of the last 5 administrations is sobering. 3 presidents have been impeached. 1 ex-president has committed suicide. 2 others have been jailed. Oh my God. Oh my God, yo. So 2 of the impeached presidents were jailed. 1 ex-president committed suicide. Those all could be the 3. There could be 2 presidents where they were just normal. But yo, that's wild. That's insane, dude. My first thought is that impeachment should be rare in a democracy, not commonplace. Yeah. Park Dong-sung, a retired businessman, said, overall, we can say this was a victory for the people, but I think it hurts Korea's reputation. I mean, nobody knows what's going on with your country, bro. What's going on out there? We can with confidence predict deepening polarization, added Mr. Ritchie, and that is going to produce further acts of misgovernance. Meanwhile, the policy of incoming Donald Trump administration toward a U.S. ally cited at a strategic geographical junction where China, North Korea, and Russia meet is not fully formulated. Washington's new policymakers will be unlikely to invest in building tight relationships with Seoul's caretaker government. Wow. So either way, no matter how this plays out, this might not be good for U.S. interests. That's interesting. We are entering a period of limbo and uncertainty, and the Constitutional Court's clock has not started ticking yet. Dan Pinkston said, an international relations expert at Troy University, there's only so much bandwidth in Washington and South Korea's is down on the agenda list. I think that there will be autopilot cruise control. Wow. South Korea's diplomats met with ambassadors from U.S. and China and Japan to explain the situation. South Korean Foreign Ministry said in a statement, adding to the country's foreign policy, based its alliance with Washington was unchanged by Saturday's vote. But the risk lies in sudden crisis on the Flashpoint Peninsula. So senior South Korean officers are facing investigation, and the longer that takes, the more uncertainty there will be, Pinkston said. Will adversaries look at this situation as something that can be exploited? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Are you guys about to leave a power vacuum right now? Because, yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, who knows how much of this was created by foreign entities already in the first place? You know, so this is wild, man. And this is not a good time for all of this to be happening as the rest of the world already de-escalates, man. And dude, what is going on with Yoon? Because, dude, he just dodged martial law inquiry. Report comes day after MPs voted to impeach Yoon Suk Yeol, who faces possible charges of insurrection. South Korea's conservative President Yoon Suk Yeol has reportedly failed to obey a summons from prosecutors investigating him on charges, including insurrection, as he faces impeachment after declaring martial law. Yoon, who was sent a summons on Wednesday requesting him to appear for questioning at 10 a.m. local time on Sunday, did not show up, according to Yonhap news agency. Yoon and other senior officials are being investigated on possible charges of insurrection, abuse of authority, and obstructing people from exercising their rights. Yonhap said prosecutors who were seeking arrest warrants from senior military officials, including head of the Army Special Warfare Command and the chief of Special Capital Defense Command, plan to issue another summons for the president. The president's reported failure to appear came a day after South Korean MPs voted to impeach him over the unsuccessful attempt to declare martial law almost 2 weeks ago. Yo, dude, so he's dipped and dodged. His powers have been suspended. Obviously, martial law has been pulled back. They got interim people leading the country. Opposition leader has offered to work with the government to ease the political tumult as officials seek to reassure allies and markets after the impeachment vote. The Lee, who leads the Democratic Party and who led political offensive against Yoon's embattled government, is seen as the frontrunner to replace him. Lee has urged the Constitutional Court to rule swiftly on Yoon's impeachment and proposed a special counsel for cooperation between the government and parliament. The opposition leader told televised news conference that the rapid ruling was the only way to minimize national confusion and the suffering of the people. Lee proposed that a national council where the government and the National Assembly would work together to stabilize affairs, and said his party would not seek to impeach the Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, a Yoon appointee who is serving as acting president. The Democratic Party will actively cooperate with all parties to stabilize state affairs and restore international trust. The National Assembly and government will work together to quickly resolve the crisis that has swept across the Republic of Korea. Yeah, it seems like from everything we're reading out here, right? It seems like people are pretty universally like, yo, who is this guy? We don't like him, right? His approval rating was in the gutter around, but anywhere between 19 to 10%, but depending on where you look. And it really seems like, dude, like this really was a good thing. It really seems like this was a good thing. Like, you can safely say this was a solid move. Like, they got rid of a dude that might have been out of his brain, but we're all the way here in the West listening to this game of telephone, and it's going through it. Specifically, it's being routed through these institutions that have their own agendas, right? So you can't be 100% for sure, man. But yo, he's dipped and dodged. He has immunity from most criminal prosecution as president, but that does not extend to allegations for rebellion or treason. He's been banned from leaving South Korea, but observers doubt that authorities will detain him because of the potential for clashes with his presidential security service. Very interesting. So he might have dipped out the country, they're saying. Dude, this is wild. This is wild, man. Who knows what's going on out there? Yo, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys on the next segment.